YouTube, Big Man Vic back at it again with another video, and today I'm going to be discussing personality traits that get you laid. So if we think about the world in Darwinian terms, life is a struggle for survival and reproduction. Reproduction is simply the survival of one's genes. That means the strongest, most dominant genes will live on, and the weakest, most subordinate genes will die off. This dynamic has slightly changed because of money being the great equalizer. So now what you have is weak, undesirable genes living on more frequently than you did in the past. Now, if we take a look at chimpanzees, for example, you'll see that the dominant male is the one that fathers the most children. But this is for a different reason than in humans. This is because when the female chimpanzee goes into heat, she does not care about which male chimpanzee mates with her. The reason that the most dominant male chimpanzee fathers the most children is because he will scare off all the subordinate male chimpanzees and interfere with any sexual activity that the subordinate male chimpanzees are doing with the female chimpanzee. Now, a few of the ways that humans are different than chimpanzees is, number one, that female humans do not go into heat, and number two, female humans are the ones that select who they mate with. And something that is interesting is female humans generally will select the dominant male humans to mate with. They're definitely not out here fucking chimpanzees. At least I'm not aware of that shit. Well, human traits that are most effective for maximizing pussy intake are almost identical to the personality traits that will propel you to the top of the male dominance hierarchy. So, some of these traits are high openness. A person that is high in trait openness is open-minded, creative, imaginative, and curious. This also directly correlates with intelligence, so logically, this would be good for maximizing pussy intake. Now, the only facet of openness that is bad for pussy intake is emotionality. Ideally, emotionality should be medium low to low, while the rest of openness should be relatively high. Not crazy high, just like medium high. Conscientiousness is the personality trait of being careful and diligent. A person that is high in trait conscientiousness is goal-oriented, and they have the ability to plan. They also have the ability to delay gratification. But this implies that a person has a desire to do a task well and takes obligations to other people seriously. Now, this has both pros and cons when it comes to pussy intake. The facets of conscientiousness that are good for pussy intake are self-discipline, orderliness, and self-efficacy. The facets that are bad for pussy intake are dutifulness and cautiousness. The reason that these are bad for pussy intake is because sometimes you gotta take risks to boost your status on the male dominance hierarchy, and this makes you much more desirable and increases your pussy intake. And a male that has not enough cautiousness and is too dutiful might go overboard with his risk taking, and a male that has too much cautiousness might not do enough risk taking. All facets of extroversion can have positive impact on pussy intake as long as they are not extraordinarily high and they're not manifested in a goofy, childish way. But high extroversion paired with the correct proportions of the other 4 personality traits, are very good for pussy intake, as long as you remain in a masculine frame. All facets of agreeableness should be medium to medium low. When a man is too agreeable, women see him as a nice guy, and the thought that most likely goes through women's head is, I don't mind his physical appearance, but I'm not going to let his genes survive another generation. There's a higher likelihood of him getting eaten by a shark than of me facilitating his procreation. What happens when a man is too disagreeable, on the other hand, is he spends the majority of his life in prison. So you don't want to be too disagreeable, and you also don't want to be too agreeable. You should be medium low to medium agreeable. All facets of neuroticism can have very negative effects on pussy intake. This is because high neuroticism is a very feminine characteristic, and women are attracted to masculine men. So a man's neuroticism should be low. I hope y'all learned something from this video. Let me know what videos you want to see in the future. Like, comment, subscribe. I hope y'all are having a blessed one, never a stressed one. I'll see y'all in the next one.